I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor. Now I've got some little kids. All right, I might have improvised that last part of the song, and maybe it's not looking better than it ever did, but this is one of the succulents that I have owned the absolute longest. It was actually gifted to me by a friend when I was photographing for my book on succulents. Now, one of the reasons why this succulent has grown so well and why it's one of the few that I still have from years and years ago is because it's a succulent that grows well in the climate that I've been growing it in, and it's really well suited for my personal care style, which is basically borderline neglect, watering infrequently and not fussing about it or paying a lot of attention to it. I'm also growing it indoors, and I do have it under a grow light, but this actually doesn't need a ton of light in order to stay compact and healthy. And you can see it's got a little bit of red along the leaves. It's actually been getting a little bit too much light and not enough water, but it's still alive. And part of that is because this is a succulent that is really tough in that way. I don't actually know what kind it is for sure. It's either an aloe or an aloe hybrid with like a gasteria or haworthia. If you know what it is, leave a comment because I would love to know. I've done a little bit of looking and I haven't found one that looks quite like it, but it's one that is very tolerant of drought. And so therefore it works really well for me. So if you are having a hard time growing succulents, look for different characteristics of how you're caring for succulents. How often do you like to water or remember to water? And I do have the succulent tracker app that helps me remember when to water. I can set a watering reminder. It can also give some suggestions based on certain types of plants. But pay attention to how often you like to water or remember to water. Then you also want to look at how much light you have. Most people who are growing succulents indoors, they don't have a bright enough window or an area that gets enough light naturally to keep an echeveria or a graptosedum or something like that that's really bright and colorful. They don't have enough light to maintain that color and those compact, really close together leaves. So haworthias and aloes and gasterias can be good for that. A lot of echeverias are very drought tolerant, which is great. So you can go long periods of time without water and just supplement with a grow light. So paying attention. Tortoise is coming to attack my feet. All right. Challenges with growing or recording videos outside with the tortoise roaming around. So pay attention to how often you like to water, just naturally. Don't try and force yourself to water a different amount because that's going to end up with you feeling some resentment around your succulents and not wanting to take care of them or feeling like you're not doing a good job. So pay attention to how often you naturally are inclined to water. Then pay attention to how much light you have naturally available or how easily you can add a grow light. I have a great video on that. It doesn't have to be complicated. Grow lights can be really simple and inexpensive. And then the third thing is paying attention to temperatures. So if you're growing indoors, this isn't as much of an issue, but outdoors, pay attention to how much light you're getting and the amount of heat or cold that you're getting, and find a succulent that adjusts accordingly or that works for that climate. Succulents are something that's supposed to bring you joy and happiness in your life. So pick something that's going to still be standing no matter how you care for it, no matter what your care style is. Find one that matches your care style and matches your environment so that you can have one that's still standing after 8 years. If you need help with that, there's some links in the description that will be a great resource to help you find a succulent that is perfect for you.